Today's video is about women who have hit the wall. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Let's get started.
I hit a real milestone in my life this week. Was visiting my best friend and her kids, and my 5-year-old nephew asks me, "Who are you married to, Aunt Toria?" "Nobody, Galen." "Why aren't you married to anybody? Why doesn't anybody want to marry you?" So, I guess I'm in my spinster aunt era officially.
I'm 38 years old. I've never been married. I've never had children. I have 3 cats in my house. Only 2 of them are mine. But it's another Christmas that is about to come and go where my relationship status is the same. And it's crazy because if you had asked me 10 years ago if I would be single at 38, I would have been like, absolutely not. And if I am, then just me now, you know? Here's one of my kitties. Look at this little baby girl. This is Willow. Say hi, Willow. And I have such a complicated relationship with this time of year. I really do. Because I have a complicated relationship with being single. There's a part of me that really values my life and my time to myself and my independence. And then there's a part of me that feels really embarrassed about admitting that I want to be in a relationship. And I think a big part of that is it makes me feel like maybe I'm being needy or I'm being clingy and all these like, I don't know what it is, but it's almost embarrassing. It is, I feel embarrassed to be 38 and single and never married. I also think a part of me feels forgotten by God or the universe because I feel like I've done so much internal work on myself, and yet I feel like I can't seem to attract my person into my life. And even saying all of this out loud feels really cringy, which is why I'm making myself say it out loud and admit it. Because I'm sure that there's other people that feel the same way. But it makes me, I have a really hard time not wondering what is wrong with me. And I have to stop myself from going down that spiral because it can get very dark when I start to think of the reality is at my age, I may never have children at this point. And that makes me really sad. And there is a reality in which I don't ever find somebody. And that makes me really sad. And so the tension this year for me is allowing myself to have those wants, but then also allowing myself to embrace that maybe I am enough for myself. So I guess I'm just sharing this for other people out there who may be single and having the same thoughts and feelings this holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. You're not alone.
As I always say, the wall doesn't forgive. Here we have a 38-year-old woman with 3 cats, wondering why she's still single, but never asking the million-dollar question, what do men want? The women who find a husband know the answer. They understand that a relationship isn't just about receiving, but also about supporting the man, bringing feminine energy, acts of service, and emotional stability. But these women only think about me. That's why they spend their best years chasing the top 20% of men that all women want, always waiting at the finish line. They ignore average men when they themselves are average. And now, at 38 years old and with 3 cats, she's experiencing the wall firsthand. The sad part? She might end up alone.
Right around this time last year, I made a video about how I was feeling so lonely. I was going through one of the most isolating seasons of my life. And now it's a year later and I'm still crying. I'm crying because that Allie didn't realize that she was looking in all the wrong places for companionship. I was looking for companionship and ride or dies and besties in people. And I wasn't looking to God. I hadn't tried to look at God. And I feel like God puts us in these seasons of isolation that can be so painful and can feel so rock bottom. because he needs us to realize that truly the only ride or die that we ever need is him. The only person that we truly need to look for when we are lonely, when we are exhausted, when we need validation, when we need support is Jesus. And I didn't know that. I think it's so real, you know? We just look in the wrong places, y'all. I'm standing here on a Saturday night feeling overwhelmed by the Holy Spirit and feeling so loved with not a single person in this home. I feel like I have the best company I could actually ever wish for in him. I really believe that God had to put me in a place where I was not holding humans or other people or best girlfriends or relationships above him. Isn't that crazy? I know.
Hey, bro. What? Oh my God!
Personally, I think loneliness has her unstable. This woman feels like time is slipping away, and even though she tries to mask it with deep devotion, her expression says it all. She's on the verge of breaking down. A whole year without solving her problem, and now she's clinging to religion as a last resort. If she were truly at peace, she wouldn't be crying alone on a Saturday night, talking about validation and companionship. For any woman at this point, here's a piece of advice. Take the first step. Why not go after the man you want? Make the first move. You have nothing to lose and will face far fewer rejections than a man. But of course, that requires putting pride aside.
So I am living by myself for the first time in like 3.5 years, almost 4 years. And it's been such a shock to my system. And I'm really trying like everything to not be so sad about it. And some advice that I once got from a friend in the past during like my first real breakup of my adulthood, when I was like first living by myself, this friend gave me amazing advice that is like really carrying me through this phase of my life now. And I just want to impart it on you guys in case you're going through something similar, or like even if you know a friend who's going through something similar. So back when I was moving into this apartment by myself post that breakup, I was like being so emo. And for good reason, but like I was listening to like the Lumineers on vinyl and the lights were down low. I had the candles lit, looked like a seance in my apartment. And I was like putting together IKEA furniture. And I was just like really feeling sorry for myself. I was like, I don't want to put furniture together. I don't want to do life on my own. I feel so lonely, so isolated. This is so stale. Like, for context, I'm one of 7. It's like I just don't do well being by myself because I'm just used to having life around me. But I was really feeling it. And I call my best friend, and he tells me, after I vent all of this out to him, he's like, girl, one day you're gonna have babies and little kids who do not want to eat what you just made them for dinner, and they're gonna be screaming about it. One day you're gonna have a husband or whoever who's playing I don't know, like a sporting game on the TV that you absolutely despise, and you don't want to hear it in the background anymore. And there's going to be so much that is thrown at you that you cannot control or really stop, that you're just in the middle of. And one day you're going to look back on this time in your life and you're going to be so envious of this phase, because this is where you really had all the autonomy in the world to create your own peace and to revel in that calm and that stillness. And you can invite more chaos into your life if you want now. You can also kick it right out. You have so much autonomy to do whatever you want with yourself. And I keep thinking about that right now, because I'm like, okay, yeah, this freaking sucks. And I do want to cry and I want to pity myself. And I don't want to put furniture together by myself. I don't want to take the trash out. I never did that before. I don't want to do it now. But at the same time, I'm doing all of that stuff in exchange for so much peace and so much calm.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
When you're between 25 and 35, the partners you find are usually the ones you end up in a long-term relationship with. And this woman had that partner. Maybe he left her, or maybe she left him. But now, the regret is hitting hard. The problem is that the more relationships you go through at this age, the more distrustful you become, and the harder it gets to truly connect with someone new. Now she talks about having a family. but she let go of the man she could have had one with. She convinced herself that being single meant freedom, but now that she has to assemble furniture alone and take out the trash by herself, she's realizing that independence without companionship isn't as appealing as she once thought.
I don't have a group of girls. I don't have besties. I don't have a best friend. I've always been a really solo person. Like, my Enneagram personality is type 4, the individualist. Like, I've always been a solo kid when I was really young. I just wanted to play on my own, be on my own. I like being in my bedroom. Like, I've always been a very solo person. I don't know if it's that or a mix of that and the fact that when I was in school, I had really toxic friendships. I had a really difficult experience with friendships. My best friend was my bully. If you know, you know. And I just find it hard to connect. However, I always have this feeling of emptiness and longing for this friendship. I've never been on a girls' trip. I've never had like a birthday party with friends. Like, my birthday party is family. And the thing is I'm such a family person as well. Like, to be honest, I'd love to spend my days with my sister, with my niece and nephews, hanging out with my mum. I'm a homebody. I love being around my boyfriends. Like, I've always been like that, and I know so many girls, people are like that. However, it doesn't take away the fact that I would just love to have friends. And I've always felt like I must be a massive bitch. There must be a reason. I must be the problem. It's difficult, but the thing is I consider myself a very nice person, a very good friend. I will have your back. If you need me, I'm there. If you ring me in the middle of the night, I'm there for you. I will trust you. I'm trusting. I'm trustworthy. I'm a girl's girl. I will have your back. I will be on the phone to you to whatever time, giving you relationship advice if you're going through it. I will never judge you for going back to that guy again and again and again. Internally, I might have my opinions, but I'll support you, okay? There's been people in my life especially where we get really close and then we just like drift, and it's not even a situation of like I fall out with everyone. Like, I don't do fall out. It's like I don't fall out with people. We just like detach and we become disconnected. I just know I'm not alone. I've spoke about this on my podcast, and so many people have said to me like, I'm so glad you said this because I can really resonate with you. I can really relate to you. So the reason I'm making this TikTok is to reassure anybody that feels the same as me. It's really embarrassing to admit, and I think it makes us sound like we're really horrible people, but I think it's really important to put out there that it doesn't make you a horrible person if you don't have friends. And if anyone wants to be friends with me, please can we be friends? All right.
You're not individualistic. You're just narcissistic. People notice it in you. You give off an air of superiority, which is why they lose contact with you. It's not that you struggle to connect. It's that you never make the effort to reach out to others or genuinely take an interest in them. You're the kind of person who expects everyone to chase after you, but never lifts a finger to maintain relationships. And then you wonder why you don't have friends, why you've never been on a girl's trip, or why your friendships always fade away. The truth is simple. People like that are exhausting to be around. No one wants a friendship where only one person gets attention and never gives it back. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, here are the questions for you. Why do so many women end up alone nowadays? Do you think the 38-year-old woman will ever get married? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from The Wall.